We're going to start with a story that sounds like one of those Dateline episodes. A Baton Rouge woman is behind bars accused of killing not one, but two boyfriends.
I take that to the bank. If God had come down right now, I would have bet my life, even before this happened, that she was the one that killed EJ. Not another soul, but
Truth
her.
be told, anybody close to the scenario, we knew it.
Like it was a gut feeling. And that's why I was so emotional today, because for the past going on, I got chills now, for the past 2 years, like we
Hate
knew.
to say it, but he was one of them street guys who ain't believe in calling the police. Big EJ. Call the police, get a restraining order, get a paper trail on it for something bad happened. And him not doing it didn't quite work in his favor at the end of the day.
He had just told us a week prior that she was trying to kill him.
This woman, 42-year-old Janice Frazier, went in for questioning with Baton Rouge police and ended up confessing to not one, but two murders.
Yo, 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 what's up, people? We is back. Another day to Keep It G News. And the newscaster got it right, y'all. This story is straight out of Dateline. I promise you it is. Straight out of Dateline. And do y'all remember when I did a story on, I think, that music producing in Atlanta, and I told women that you gotta be careful when you got these guys that particularly chase after younger women. Y'all remember that? Well, I think guys might gotta worry about the same thing. Be very leery of women, older women that chase after younger men. Because in this story, that's what we're dealing with. We dealing with an older woman that had two younger boyfriends, one of them way younger than at least 10, 15 years. And what happened in their relationship, a lot of domestic violence, at least in one. But somehow, some way, both of them ended in murder. A woman who was arrested after a body was found in a brick park on Saturday morning has been connected to an unsolved murder from 2021. The Baton Rouge Police Department said 42-year-old Janice Frazier was arrested July 17. Officers say she allegedly shot 34-year-old Christopher Holden at an apartment complex along Boulevard D. Province on July 14th. Police said security footage showed Frazier and another person acting suspicious and leaving in separate vehicles. Several minutes later, a camera caught the two vehicles arriving at Breck South Flannery Park at the same time and leaving together. Authorities said Frazier and Holden were in a relationship. It is unclear who the other person in the video is and if they are facing charges as well. On Saturday, volunteers from Keep Tiger Town Beautiful, a group that picks up litter in publicly owned parts of Baton Rouge, were doing a cleanup at Breck Flannery Road Park when they found Holden's body around 7 a.m. Organizer Jennifer Richardson said there were about 35 people helping clean up the area that morning. Richardson said near the end of the cleanup, a volunteer came up to her and said they found a man laying down, possibly sleeping. I saw the bullet hole and I saw the blood pool. At this point, I knew he was either dead or fixing to die, Richardson said. Jail records were later updated to reflect another second-degree murder charge on Frazier's record. Once confronted with the evidence against her, Frazier confessed to being part of Holden's murder. Police then pressed their luck, asking her about the 2021 homicide of Amani Anderson, a man she was dating at the time. She had been listed as a potential suspect in that shooting, but we didn't have enough evidence to say that she had done it. Through the course of us interviewing her for this one, we spoke to her about the other one in 2021, and she admitted to shooting Mr. Anderson. Lieutenant Jane McKinley said that admission is not shocking to Anderson's family. His mother, Niecy, told us over the phone that police had taken her suspicions of Frazier more seriously at the time Christopher Holden might still be alive. Frazier and Anderson's relationship was volatile, according to court records. Anderson had been arrested for battering her several times. WBRZ learned that when Anderson was arrested for domestic abuse against Frazier in 2021, a judge put a protective order in place until 10/13/21. At 11:59 p.m., Anderson was killed 10/14/2021 at 1:04 a.m. However, his mother disputes those claims. In Frazier's relationship with Holden, though there is no documented evidence that there was any abuse taking place, police point to the fact that she chose to dump his body. If it had indeed been justified, you would have called and given your side of the story. But that act of dumping the body is showing that there is some type of intent to discard the body without law enforcement knowing, McKinley said. Frazier was booked into East Baton Rouge Parish Prison for 2 counts of second-degree murder and obstruction of justice. Her bond is set at $1.1 million, according to jail records. Now, before I continue, I want to send my condolences to the families of both parties, Amani Anderson and Christopher Holden. You know, death is a tragic thing, man. Which I heard all the way in the beginning of the video is the friends of Amani Anderson basically saying they knew it was her. They knew it. And one of the friends even said that he told Amani, look, man, you need to reach out to the police, get some type of protection from this woman because She volatile, and it might end in murder. And that's what happened, you know, and that's the thing about guys in the streets, man. We don't like dealing with police. I've dealt with this on my own. I've dealt with this with homeboys where we're put up with a certain amount of, you know, I guess domestic violence. But we don't want to get the police involved because that's not what we into. You know, we just think that the police cause more problems than good, you know. But in this situation, y'all see what happened, man. That man lost his life, man. 2 people lost their life. And it wasn't until 2 years until they found out that she actually killed Amani Anderson because she told him. And this is what happens when people deal with regret and trauma and, you know, people got demons. And a lot of times you just get to a point where you can't hold it no more. And I think that's what happened. I think that's what ultimately led to her confession. She got tired of living with it, man. It was stressing her out. But you also heard in that article that she had accomplices. What happened to them? So come to find out, after 2 days of interrogating her and keeping her arrested, I think she might have folded on them. And guess what? One of them was her son. Days after one was arrested in her boyfriend's murder, police have booked 2 more suspects, including the woman's son, for their involvement in the killing. On Thursday, Baton Rouge police announced the arrest of 45-year-old Gregory Williams and 23-year-old Christopher Smith. Both are booked on charges of obstruction of justice. Williams also faces charges of second-degree murder, with police saying he may have played a role in the actual killing. Smith was additionally booked as an accessory to second-degree murder. Police said Smith is the son of Janice Frazier, who was booked for murder earlier this week. Police said all 3 suspects were linked to the killing of 34-year-old Christopher Holden, whose body was discovered by volunteers who were cleaning up Brick Flannery Road Park over the weekend. Frazier reportedly told investigators her son Smith was at the apartment when Holden was shot. Smith said he was in another room when he heard a gunshot downstairs. He then allegedly witnessed Frazier and Williams loading the body into the back of the car and went with them to the site where the remains were dumped. Smith also admitted that he helped remove potential evidence from the apartment, throwing away bloody couch cushions and other items. Arrest documents say that while in custody, Frazier also confessed to killing another dating partner back in 2021, a deadly shooting that went unsolved for almost 2 years. All in all, I just think this is it's a heartfelt situation, man, you know. And we have to fix the relationship between black women and black men, y'all. I say that a lot on this channel because right now it's fractured, it's broken, and it needs to be healed one way or another. But I think in situations where you got younger people dealing with older people, I think the burden is on the older person to let go, man. Because, you know, a lot of times we look at it, especially if you're the younger person in a relationship, you think you're doing something slick. I got this older woman. I got this older guy. So you might be a little bit more attached. Now, when it comes to Janice Frazier's relationship with Amani Anderson, she killed that man an hour or 2 after their protective order was lifted. That's crazy, right? An hour or 2 after. It was lifted at 10:59, 11 o'clock, and Amani Anderson was dead by 1 o'clock. But at the time, they didn't have the evidence. They always thought she was a suspect, but they didn't have the evidence. And then when you fast forward to what happened the other day, because Christopher Holden just lost his life 3-4 days ago, it got to be a situation where she got away with it the first time. She thought she can do it again. But all chickens come home to roost, man, and what's done to the dark always comes to the light. We always got to remember that. But I want to know how y'all feel about this situation, y'all. Like I said, this is a tragic story, something right out of a Dateline movie where you got a 42-year-old woman, older woman, dealing with younger men. In one way or another, ended in the death of these 2 younger guys, man, and left their family mourning now. Now she got to face the consequences, like I always say. You know, do what you do, but just make sure you can stand on what you do. And it looked like to me, she wasn't ready to stand on it because it looked like she took other people down with her. They didn't know who these other guys was before she was interrogated and questioned, and more than likely she gave up the information. Like I said, it's another day on Keep It G News. Make sure y'all subscribe to the channel, support the movement, and I'm out.
You be dreaming about your dreams. I be living out my nightmares. I be missing, I been bed. The other night she was right there. I be lurking with my bros. I be crying with my mom.